What's up guys, welcome back to Paint That Model. Today we're going to be looking at magnetizing your minis. Easy and simple. This is by far the easiest method I have come across to magnetize your minis. I know this task seems very daunting, confusing, whatever you want to call it, but I am going to make it very simple, easy, and effective for you guys to customize your minis so you can have something like this. Right, so we have our good old Tau crisis suits here. Good old Tau crisis suits. Whoops, that one doesn't have magnets. That's my example for you guys. This one, you can see we have the little bitty magnets from Amazon, just the smallest ones that I had. I'm not sure what size, maybe 1mm magnets or something like that. This will be put into the model, recessed into the model, so you can see this is flush, right? We don't want the magnet sitting out of side of the model. You're gonna put one on there and one on your attachment piece right there. Make sure that they are opposite poles of the magnet. By that I mean they actually connect and they don't repel each other. That is the biggest mistake you can make, is you put the south side magnet and you try to connect it to the south side on your attachment, and they won't go together, right? This one does. So you can see that is what we will be doing today. The first step of this will be going over what we will need for this process. Of course, you will need your mini. Your mini that doesn't have magnets. This one is my example. This does not have any magnets. We will be adding them. You need your attachments, any kind of pieces that'll go on and connect, you know. For that case, a bunch of blasters, a few different attachments that can be used in 40K. I don't know what that piece is. But yeah, so just an example again. This guy with the magnet, the recessed magnet in, connecting up like so. So how will we be doing that? We have the model, we have the attachments. What else do we need? Well, we need magnets. This is a standard variety of assortment of magnets. I just used the very smallest ones that I could find in here, but depending on your model, you may want to use larger ones. If it's a large, I don't know, Demon Primarch or something, and you want to hot swap some stuff out that become customizable within the kits, you're going to need bigger magnets. But for this, you can see I'm using very tiny magnets. Very small guys. And they work just fine. Your experience may vary, depending on your magnet. Now, what else are we going to need? A lot of people say you need a fancy drill or a hand drill, such as this, to poke holes and to drill holes into miniatures, soft plastics, right? Well, I've since lost all of the drill bits for this, so I'm not going to use this. And I found an easier way that I don't think a lot of people are shining a light to. And that easier method is your good old scalpel. Every hobby enthusiast will have something like this for this hobby. Very simple, nice little point. And what I find you do to create this hole that the magnet's going to go in, you pick your center point like any drilling a hole. If you're a handyman, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like any drilling your hole, you want to pick your center point, make sure it's exactly where you want it before you start twisting and carving away the material outside of it, so you don't mess something up here. Doesn't have to be perfect, you just got to get this magnet completely recessed inside the model. That's all you need. For this particular model, we will be putting our magnets right in this little hole here, where you would normally permanently glue in the attachments. We are going to carve it out. You can see, maybe if I zoom in a little bit more, you can see just up here, you might need to carve out a little bit more in this section. So you always got to be aware of where you're carving, you don't want to carve too much. But how I basically start this, make sure I'm on camera while I do this. I will start this by picking my center point, which I have done. Right now I have my center point, and I'm going to slowly start wiggling in a pilot hole that I can work from. Once I have pilot hole started, I will then increase my rotation, taking out more material each time I do a pass. Right? So basic stuff, you can see some stuff is starting to come off. But you may need to take some off one side more than the other. Just work the plastic so that you can remove the area that you need to. So if we zoom in here, you can see it's not perfect, but if I get you can see it's not perfect, but if I get my extra magnet and I slot it in, fits pretty well. Now this isn't glued in yet because I do have a little trick up my sleeve to placing this magnet and to make sure that you get the polarity right on each magnet that you place. For that, I will use my already seated magnet. So if you have one of these done, right, you just got to make sure you do it once properly. And once you do it once properly, you can repeat it very easily. So I know that this has one side of my magnet, and if I simply pick up the other magnet, I know that when this magnet that just got attached to the other magnet is facing down like this orientation, then if I put it in like that and glue it in like that, I can never get it wrong or backwards because I've done that a few times. So now I have a little dab of super glue in the hole. I'm going to pick up my magnet with the attachment so that I know the direction of the magnet is right, and I'm going to simply seat the magnet in my attachment and slide it off so that I know it is in there properly. You can try to stamp it down flat if I don't think it's very flat. For this, you can use the end of your hobby knife if I don't think it's flat enough or it needs to be adjusted. It might have been a little loud for the mic. And again, doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Try to get it as best as you can. You can rinse and repeat the process for the other side. And now we should have, here we go, an attachment magnetized.